And now shifting focus to the United States, it's day 2 of Donald Trump's unprecedented criminal trial in New York City. A historic first for a former U.S. president, the defendant will once again be forced to watch in silence as the jury selection process continues today. The trial brings a seismic twist to an already explosive 2024 presidential election, with the presumptive Republican nominee sitting in a Manhattan courtroom 4 days a week. On Monday, Judge Juan Merchan issued a warning that as a criminal defendant, Donald Trump will have to attend proceedings in the courthouse daily or face arrest. The judge also warned Donald Trump against repeating his frequent attempts to disrupt hearings with incendiary social media posts and courtroom outbursts, going so far as to threaten the presidential challenger with jail time if he disrupts court proceedings. The judge also scheduled a hearing next week to consider whether Trump should already be held in contempt for violating a partial gag order restricting him from attacking those connected to the case. Now, Trump, who has pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, was seen sitting next to his 3 attorneys as jury selection began on Monday. The former president did little talking inside the courtroom yesterday. In fact, reports say he fell asleep during actual court proceedings. But while leaving, he reiterated the case is a scam and a political witch hunt.
This is an assault on America. Nothing like this has ever happened before. There's never been anything like it. Every legal scholar said this case is nonsense. It should never have been brought. It doesn't deserve anything like this. There is no case, and they've said it. People that don't necessarily follow or like Donald Trump said this is an outrage that this case was brought. This is political persecution. This is a persecution like never before. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Now, the selection of the 12 jurors who will in fact decide Donald Trump's fate could go on for as long as 2 weeks. And the names of the selected jurors will be kept anonymous to protect them from what the judge says is a risk of bribery or even physical harm. Of the first group of 96 prospective jurors, at least 50 were in fact excused after they said they could not be fair and impartial in this case. 9 others were also allowed to leave after stating that there were compelling reasons that they simply could not serve. Today, the potential jurors will be asked to answer questions that could indicate their political views. And now Donald Trump has complained that he simply cannot get a fair trial from a jury in Manhattan.
This is a case that should be brought or tried. It's a scam. It's a political witch hunt. It continues, and it continues forever. And we're not going to be given a fair trial. It's a very, very sad thing. In addition, as you know, next Thursday, we're before the United States Supreme Court on a very big hearing on immunity. And this is something that we've been waiting for a long time. And the judge, of course, is not going to allow us. He's a very conflicted judge, and he's not going to allow us to go to that. We got a real problem with this judge.
Now, on Monday, Judge Merchan did allow former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal to be allowed to testify in court. She claims that she had a nearly year-long affair with Donald Trump. And the prosecutors can also introduce National Enquirer stories slamming Trump's opponents as evidence. Now, they say the parent company to the National Enquirer, American Media Inc., agreed to pay McDougal $150,000 before the 2016 election for her silence about allegations of an affair with Trump. The former president has denied the affair, and the payment is not part of the charges against Donald Trump, but prosecutors say the testimony will help establish a pattern. But Trump also scored a legal victory as well. Judge Merchan ruled that the infamous Access Hollywood tape cannot be played in court, saying that it is highly prejudicial. The recording, of course, rocked the 2016 campaign. In fact, it was so damaging that many believed it would irreparably harm Donald Trump's chances of winning the election that year. Prosecutors will also not be allowed to bring up other sexual assault allegations against Donald Trump. The former president was indicted in March of 2023 over payments to Stormy Daniels. Now, if convicted in the hush money case, Donald Trump would potentially face years in prison. The maximum sentences would be 4 years in prison for each count. But legal experts say that a fine is actually more likely. More twists and turns as both sides continue their quest to find 12 impartial jurors and 6 alternates. From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.